All right, what I have for you today is a review of the SOLAR A1.6FRC. If you're watching this video, you probably are very familiar with Ola Englund, the Swedish guitar player and YouTuber and owner of Solar Guitars. I bought this Solar guitar just over 2 years ago. This has been one of my primary recording instruments. It can do just about everything, and I thought it would be a great time to show quality control, what it's like just over 2 years after purchasing it, and give my overall opinion. This is obviously some close-up shots of the finish. It's very dusty. I do play it, but it's dusty right now. But this is the Floyd Rose 1000 series, which I think the Floyd Rose 1000s are great. The Seymour Duncan designed Solar pickups. I did not replace those. I think they sound great. And the frets, the Solar image on the 12th fret. A lot of people have mentioned online that they had concerns about the fretboard cracking and maybe the logo peeling off. I have not had any experiences with any of this. This is my fretboard up close, just to show 2.5 years in, almost 2.5 years. I treated this thing maybe once or twice with lemon oil just to get it darker. One thing that turned me onto this guitar was the fact that it was the black, the flat, or the matte black. It looks so mean. The series A1 I believe was the very first series that Solar came out with, that had the cutouts and the set neck joint. I'll flip this thing over in just a minute so we can take a look at the set neck joint. At the 6 means it's a 6-string FRC Floyd Rose Cobalt Black. I like the Solar embedded icon on the truss rod cover. One thing I like about this truss rod cover is there's one screw, and you don't have 3 screws to take it off, and also it slides open real quick if you have to adjust the truss rod. I've only had to adjust the truss rod on this thing once, and that's when I first got it. I wanted to lower the action just a little bit for my needs, but it wasn't necessary. Okay, so I'll flip this thing over so we can take a look at it. All right, here's the back side, and got the Solar locking tuners. It's got the little Solar logo on the back of the locking tuners. Everything is cobalt black. Everything on this guitar is just finished perfectly. Here's where the neck connects to the body. Looks like a through body neck, but it's a set neck. There's no trace of where this thing was glued on. I mean, it's it's like magic. It's awesome. I've heard stories that the early Solars had better quality control. I don't think that's true. I think that any guitar manufacturer that you go with, especially if they mass produce guitars, you're going to have a certain percentage that may have certain issues, but overall the issues I've seen have been minor. I think every guitar company gets a bad rap because, I don't know, my opinion is everybody these days tries to find fault with just about everything. I guess life's always been like that. I'm pretty happy to please, but I am particular about guitars. They have to work right, they have to sound right, they have to play easy, they have to be dependable. When I go to them, they need to be able to perform properly, and they have to evoke a certain amount of emotion and have mojo. This guitar has mojo. It plays excellent, and even though it's a death metal looking machine, this thing can handle just about anything you throw at it. Just may not look appropriate on stage playing jazz or country or pop. If you're in a church band, I have played this at church a couple times, and everybody loved it, but it doesn't quite fit the image. And if you look on the back here, I've got a little bit of this chip. I did this on I had to put a screwdriver into the body to get this plate off. It fits so firm, and I just, stupid me, I tried to get it off. A little bit too overzealous one day, and just over time, I just always use that area. I guess I could sand this down a little bit and get this plate to fit a little bit less snug. Would be nice if they cut some slots in here so you could access the screws. Only reason I had to access the back plate was to adjust the claw spring so I could tune this thing down to E flat, because if anyone's familiar with a Floyd Rose tremolo and you try to do any type of drop tuning, you have to adjust the tension on the Floyd Rose so the action is right. But that would be nice if this thing fit a little bit nicer and had access slots, kind of like a Strat. Or maybe if you did what Ibanez is doing with the Pia and made it magnetic, unless that's a patented idea, that would be great. Okay, so let's take a look at the internals. Okay, so here are the pickups. I took these pickups out. It's kind of like black metal trogly here, but inside the body cavity where they route this out, that's what that looks like. Check that out. There's the neck tendon, goes all the way back like that. That's pretty awesome. These pickups don't have springs with the screws. It's just basically these pieces of foam. You can raise and lower the height of the pickups. They're screwed right into the body. That's cool. That's good. Kind of like a P90, how they do those, or some of the Van Halen pickups that I've seen. And it's always a good time to polish the guitar when you got this thing taking apart the strings off of it. I've got the neck soaking in lemon oil. If you don't know already, don't soak your necks in lemon oil. If it's a maple neck, it'll make the neck kind of dark and dirty looking, but I wouldn't advise doing that. And Ola says on these cobalt black and matte finishes just to use soap and water, but I use standard guitar polish. It doesn't seem to really make a difference. Heck, it's my guitar, I'll do what I want, right? So, but that's what it looks like. Solar Duncan pickups and the routing, and close up of the Floyd Rose 1000. We'll take a look at the back side. Okay, so here are the internals. As expected, the cheapest pots possible. Do they really make a difference? I don't think so. They may not last as long as a super high quality CTS pot, the larger style. I may upgrade this and replace them just to see, but right now I'm like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. One thing that I haven't mentioned yet is this 5-way blade switch, which I think is interesting. This one's got 2 rows to it. Normally I see them with just the one row, and these little ears pan off on each side. But this 5-way blade is a little sticky, and it's not bad though. And sometimes it cuts out. I have to jiggle it to get it to go into like the single coil mode in positions 2 and 4. So that has wound up happening over the last few months. I don't use this guitar a ton. I do record a lot with it from time to time. This is one of my main recording guitars, but it could be just inactivity. Maybe it just needs to get used more, but I may have to replace that 5-way blade. But it recently started doing that. But everything's clean back here. Everything's routed nice, probably obviously all machine routed, and the soldering is on point. Everything's nice. So that's the internal cavity of the Solar. A1.6FRC. So we will give this thing a demo, a sound test. Okay, so final thoughts on the Solar A1.6FRC. I've owned this guitar for about 2.5 years. This is an excellent guitar. I think I paid around $900 for it, $999, $899, something like that, which is a great deal. They're made in Indonesia. They ship out of Spain. Fantastic instrument. It sounds great. It feels excellent. The access on the fretboard is wonderful. You can really get up to the higher register. You could play up on the pickup if you needed to. The Floyd Rose 1000 series is stable, no tuning issues. The tuners are excellent. The neck is straight. Action has stayed perfectly where it should be over the last couple of years. My only complaint is this 5-way blade is a little bit staticky. It could be replaced. I don't know if that's just from me using it a lot. But that could be replaced. The volume pots are cheap, but they sound good. No need in replacing those now. The back plates I wish came off a little bit easier. I do have to pry them out, so I could easily fix that. Not a major issue. This guitar looks excellent. It plays super good, and it's very reliable. I love it. I would recommend Solar guitars. This is not a paid promotion. I just do these videos for free and for fun, just to help us fellow guitar players out and demonstrate some guitars. So if you're interested in a nice product, I would certainly recommend the Solar brand. Great value for the money, and I think they sound and look excellent. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.